William Shakespeare's Hamlet is often hailed as one of the greatest tragedies in Western literature, a play that explores themes of revenge, madness, and mortality. Set in the royal court of Denmark, Hamlet presents us with a complex protagonist, Prince Hamlet, who is burdened by grief, a desire for justice, and a deep existential crisis. This essay will dive into three central themes of the play: the quest for revenge, the question of Hamlet's madness, and the inevitability of death. At the heart of Hamlet lies the theme of revenge. The play begins with a haunting revelation. The ghost of Hamlet's father reveals that he was murdered by his brother Claudius, who now sits on the throne. Hamlet is set on avenging his father's death, but his quest is far from straightforward. Hamlet is an intellectual, deeply philosophical, and highly moral man, and these traits complicate his desire for vengeance. He struggles with the idea of killing Claudius, often contemplating the moral implications of revenge and the righteousness of his cause. One of the most famous scenes that captures Hamlet's inner turmoil is his "to be or not to be" soliloquy. In this speech, Hamlet contemplates the nature of existence itself, questioning whether it is better to endure life's suffering or end it through death. His hesitation to act reflects the complexity of his character. Hamlet is not merely a man seeking revenge, he is a man wrestling with deep questions about life, death, and justice. Furthermore, Hamlet's anger toward his mother Gertrude plays a significant role in his quest for revenge. Her hasty marriage to Claudius after his father's death fuels Hamlet's disdain for her. He famously exclaims, "Frailty, thy name is woman," blaming her for her perceived weakness and betrayal. This complicated relationship with his mother underscores Hamlet's internal conflict. His need to avenge his father's murder is tied to his anger at the woman in his life. Another central theme in Hamlet is the question of madness. Hamlet's behavior throughout the play often blurs the line between feigned madness and genuine insanity. From the moment Hamlet learns of his father's murder, he begins to feign madness as a way to uncover the truth and navigate the treacherous court of Denmark. He tells his friends, "I am but mad, north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw," suggesting that his madness is not real, but rather a tactic he uses to disguise his intentions. However, as the play progresses, the question arises, is Hamlet truly pretending to be mad, or has the pressure of his circumstances driven him to actual insanity? Some critics argue that Hamlet's feigned madness eventually becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy as he becomes more and more entangled in his own emotional and psychological turmoil. The play within a play scene in which Hamlet stages a performance to reveal Claudius's guilt is a pivotal moment where Hamlet's actions blur the line between strategy and madness. The audience is left to wonder whether Hamlet is simply using madness as a shield or if he has genuinely lost his grasp on reality. The theme of death is perhaps the most profound and pervasive in Hamlet. From the ghost of Hamlet's father to the graveyard scene in Act 5, death is a constant presence throughout the play. Hamlet's reflections on death are central to his character development, and his musings on mortality shape much of the play's tone. One of the most famous moments of the play occurs in the graveyard scene, where Hamlet holds the skull of Yorick, the court jester. As he contemplates the skull, Hamlet reflects on the transient nature of life. "Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio." This moment highlights Hamlet's deepening awareness of the inevitability of death, and his realization that death comes for all, regardless of status or virtue. Hamlet's contemplation of Yorick's skull is not just a reflection on death, it is a moment of existential clarity, where Hamlet confronts the ultimate fate that awaits all men. Throughout Hamlet, death is portrayed not as a singular event, but as a pervasive force that shapes the actions and fates of the characters. The deaths of Ophelia, Laertes, Claudius, Gertrude, and Hamlet himself all contribute to the tragic nature of the play. In the final moments of the play, Hamlet's own death is both inevitable and ironic. After all his pondering and hesitation, Hamlet finally accepts his fate and dies, avenging his father's murder but at the cost of his own life. Hamlet remains one of the most enduring works in literary history, largely because of its exploration of the complexities of human nature. Through Hamlet's quest for revenge, his struggle with madness, and his reflections on mortality, Shakespeare presents us with a portrait of a man who, like all of us, must confront the uncertainties of life, death, and justice. The tragedy of Hamlet lies not just in the events that unfold, but in the deep philosophical questions that the play raises. Questions that continue to resonate with audiences today. As we reflect on the play, we are left with a haunting thought. In the end, the pursuit of revenge, the question of madness, and the inevitability of death are all part of the human experience, and Hamlet's tragedy is one that we all share.